Hi there, Andrea. So I'm very happy to see that you've written some essays for us in order to prepare for IELTS. I see that your IELTS exam is coming up in about 10 days or so. So let's see what you've written. And all right, so the first topic is international marketing. So as is thought by some, international marketing is seen as a process that can cause trouble to the economic and societal environment of a nation. Conversely, other people think that expanding market into an international field can bring benefits to countries willing to expand their economy and culture. And I personally agree with this. Okay, it's fine except for this. It's not really clear. What does that mean, expanding market? So you have to rephrase it a little bit. Okay, international market seems nowadays an essential component of globalization. So here I think you mean international marketing. Okay? On the one hand, the process of opening markets and enhancing importations and exportations can lead to difficulties for local producers selling their products into their own country. This could be the case of some South American countries which are facing serious problems with the production and internal utilization of quinoa, or quinoa as we also call it. Okay, I'm a little confused here. What do we mean by international marketing? If you're not sure what international marketing is, please do a search on the internet of what it means and what it entails. Yeah, it is a part of globalization, but I think your example here about quinoa is not really helpful, and you haven't really answered the question. First of all, importations, we call them imports and exports. And I just don't really understand your development here. Not only that, but it seems to be underdeveloped. I mean, you've got a paragraph that is made up of just 3 sentences. Okay, and so that's not enough. Let's see. Selling products into their own company. That's not what international marketing is really dealing with. So it feels a little off topic to me, okay? And when you talk about quinoa like this, I don't know how it's relevant. So there's a definite problem in terms of how you've developed this paragraph, Andrea. Okay. Sorry. So on the other hand, translating a closed market into, is what you wanted to say here, an international market can be instrumental for startups which desire to expand their horizons. This process can, in fact, help them to collaborate with other societies from virtually every part of the world. Okay. Furthermore, we should also consider the benefits of international markets in terms of improvements in language learning and cultural exchanges. In Italy, for example, Italy, for example, is a country whose wealth resides mainly in the exportation of luxury and original goods all over the world. All right. How does this relate to language learning and cultural exchanges? And how does this also relate to international marketing? It sounds to me like you're just talking about international trade, which is something really different. Okay, so again, there is a problem here. Now you don't tell me how. I mean, here as well, you need to develop it more. So there's 2 problems here. Number 1, these paragraphs are underdeveloped, and number 2, they are not dealing directly with international marketing, but rather international trade, which is something different, okay? So, in conclusion, I think that international marketing is a natural feature of modern globalization, which can provide a country with significant benefits in diverse fields, ranging from economy to society or culture. Yeah, that's true, but you've never actually developed any of those in these paragraphs, okay? However, it is important to manage this process ethically in order to avoid third world countries' exploitation and internal economic drawbacks. All right, this paragraph is lovely, but again, you're referring to things that you never actually discussed in your body paragraphs, namely culture and society. Okay? So, let's now look at your task 1. The horizontal bar chart gives information about the numbers of people owning a pet in 6 different English-speaking countries between 1990 and 1998. The graph gives the number of pet owners per country, and it gives also the total number for each year. Fine. The total number of pet owners showed little fluctuation, singular, not plural here, in the analyzed period, ranging between 850,000 plus or minus 70,000. Interestingly, in 1994, the total number of people who owned, past tense because it's in the past, peaked to 920. And the following year, don't forget your R, you wanted to say this dropped to the nadir of 780,000. This change was mainly driven by a significant reduction of pet owners from Wales and America. The country with the lowest number of pet owners was Ireland in all the years selected. Conversely, Scotland led LED, the group, in terms of number of pet owners, plural, and stability of the number. Overall, the number of pet owners in these 6 English-speaking countries remained almost constant during the period between 1990 and 1998, showing only small fluctuations. Okay. Most of this is lovely. Unfortunately, it's underdeveloped as far as I'm concerned. You highlighted the total number in a way that I actually liked. However, because it is a chronological chart, you basically talked about the peak. You talked about the low point. I also wanted you to talk about where the period began and where the period ended. Those, for me, are the really most important points in this chart. Okay? The beginning, the end, the high, and the low. After that, though, I definitely felt like you underdeveloped the individual countries. There's absolutely no data at all. Let me say, not only that, but I don't actually think you even mentioned all the countries by name. So far it looks like you've mentioned Ireland and Scotland, Wales and America, but there are also 2 other English-speaking countries that you have not mentioned by name. And what would happen is that this would result in really reducing your score because it's missing key information. In other words, each of the categories in a chart or in any sort of a diagram is considered key information. It absolutely must be present in order to get like a decent score. So since, well, let's see, Ireland, Scotland, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm missing the other 2. So that's a big deal. So you've missed some, at least naming them. Okay. Now, what you could do is you could have named them here. When you said 6 different English-speaking countries, you could have just put in parenthesis the 6 different names, and you would have been safe, okay? However, it's still underdeveloped, so you still wouldn't have gotten a good score. You didn't give me any data whatsoever about the countries and where their scores were. So I have no idea if Ireland had like 5,000 pet owners, whereas Scotland had like 300,000. I need to have some sort of a ballpark here, okay? So keep this in mind. I hope that with the time you have left, Andrea, you'll send us some more essays so we can go over them with you and help you prepare for IELTS. I know you've got a high score that you need to get, so let us help you work towards that score, okay? You've got some really good elements to your writing, but it does need some support, and it definitely needs some feedback. So please send us more essays so that we can help you prepare, and I'm looking forward to it, okay? So good luck to you, and I'm waiting to see your next essay.